Man, week 5 is here, and it's our first AFC South Divisional game against the Colts. But we about to get some reinforcements on the offense. So let's talk about that after the intro. Welcome to Front of Cheap Seats. Hey, welcome. Glad to have you back. I'm your host, Bonafide, and this is From the Cheap Seats, a show where we preview and recap all the action from the 2023 Tennessee Titans season. So let's dive right into it, talk about this matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. We're traveling up to Indy, and we're about to face off against their rookie first-round draft pick, AR-15, aka Anthony Richardson. And guess what? Oh, they're getting back Jonathan Taylor from the mysterious injury that he had this past 4 games. But anyway, that's not my problem. I'm not a Colts fan. We're 2-2. Now, they just lost in overtime to the Rams and Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua. There's Puka mania going on in LA. But they just lost that game in overtime. But we just came off of that dominating win over the Bengals. So we 2-2 now. So now we know about the drama surrounding Jonathan Taylor and Jim Irsay and the New Deal and running backs and all that stuff. So that really overshadowed anything that really came out from the Colts, at least in my perspective. So I really wasn't paying attention to him. I think he's expected to play this week, so that's going to be a test for the defense. But honestly, tell you the truth, I don't really think he's going to be that much of a factor. It's 4 weeks. We're 4 weeks into the season. He's not in game shape, so he's probably going to be knocking the rust off. He may have a run here or there, but I think our defense, especially our rush defense, should be good enough to contain him. So the onus and the focus on offense is going to be on AR-15. He's having to carry the load from right now, but he's uber athletic. He's the draw. He's the rookie. That's the one everybody cares about. The only people that care about what the Titans are going to do in this game are us, Titans fans. So, but I'm not even going to really touch on that because it's too early in the season to get to start with the whole they don't respect us and this, and I get no respect. We'll say that Rodney Dangerfield act for later on in the season. Now, whatever Tim Kelly was calling last week, I have no qualms about him reusing his work this week, because last week the offense looked really, really good. I mean, they looked downright explosive. I mean, we had deep balls to Moore. DeAndre Hopkins had deep balls. You already know about the King. The King was out there doing his thing right there. Even Tajay Spears, he had that fumble, but he picked it up and he ran it for a big gain, something like that. So the offense was cooking, man. So I think, it looked really good. And if we can, like I said in the other video, string this together, some good offensive performances together, then, this might be the difference from between us being number 1 in the division or looking up at the bottom of the division. So this, the offense is going to be really key in making sure that we win this particular game. And, but what needs to keep happening though is Derrick Henry, AKA a young Peyton Manning, needs to continue to be the focal point of this particular offense. I mean, he still got it. I don't care what anybody say. I'm going to be on that train until he retire. He still got the burst, and that running game helps everybody's favorite play action, make it even more effective, So I'm going to show you this tweet from A to Z Sports where we're talking about Derrick Henry versus the AFC South. The stats speak for themselves. We have to make him a focal point in this offense if we're going to do anything this season. I'm not saying that we need to be total run on this one, but Derrick Henry has to play a pivotal part in this offense. I mean, he's keeping him on the field on 3rd down in some situations and making the defense account for him. That'll open up the passing game for Ryan Tannehill too. So that's the preview, so we're gonna go on to who's in and who's out. Now, we're not going to see Treylon Burks this week. He's probably out. He's missed last week and he's missed all the practices this week. So normally this would be a bummer hadn't I not watched last week and see NWI and Moore and Josh Wild and Chig, how they stepped up and had big catches. So, him being out, it's a downer, but it's not that big of a downer to me. Because like I said, we're getting reinforcements Peter Skoronski's practice all week. NPF is back from his gambling suspension. Phillips, yes, that Phillips, Kyle Phillips is back, and he was a full participant in the practice. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Tier Tart and Gifford got DNPs this week outside of Burks. But when you know how Mike is, you can get 3 DNPs and still play on Sunday. So maybe this is just rest to see how they feel and recover, things like that. I'm not so sure, but maybe Tart played. I don't know about Gifford, so we have to keep an eye on that. From the coach side, looks like they got Ryan Kelly back from concussion protocol, but Kwity Paye and the Rain Man, he's out. Looks like Darius Leonard's out too. I don't know about Buckner, DeForest Buckner, who is probably their best defensive player. He was limited, so he might be on his way back, but we need to see the Friday report to know that. So we got to keep an eye out on the Friday report to figure out who's going to be playing on their side. So everybody's favorite new segment where we always like to make money. Like I said, I just made money last week in Vegas. So this is Gridiron Gambles, and this is sponsored by Music City Bets. Now look, you need to go on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and follow Music City Bets. The man be dropping straight fire for the gambling plays, man. Like he says, home dogs bark louder. Come on now, follow my man Music City Bets on X. Now, look, this is your Gridiron's Gamble play of the day. Now, he usually don't do this, so I feel like this. I feel like you should really put at least 50 on this one, because it's a single game parlay, the same game parlay. We got Ryan Tannehill over 1.5 TDs, passing TDs. Then we got Derrick Henry over 75.5 rushing yards. And then the icing on the cake is the DeAndre Hopkins over 4.5 receptions, total receptions. That's the same game parlay. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Go put your money down on it. It's plus 634 right now. I'm feeling like this is going to hit. I know the other ones haven't hit, but this one, I'm feeling like we finna get a hit. So this is straight from Music City Bets. So like I said, this is what I want you to do. This is your homework. Go follow Music City Bets on Twitter, and then go to your betting app and try to do the same game parlay with what I just gave you, all right? And if you win some money, shoot me a couple dollars. Shoot me a couple dollars. All right, so this last segment is, I talked about it when we talked about injury reports. Help is on the way, all right? So we are getting help, at least on the offensive side of the ball, when it comes to the return of Skoronski, NPF, like I said, from his gambling suspension, and Kyle Phillips. Now, I can't say for certain how they are going to affect, when we look at, NPF and Skoronski, how they're going to affect the offensive line. Now, I'm assuming that Sko gets plugged back into his guard spot, but we saw something interesting. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. We saw something interesting in the open portion of practice from the beat reporters. I say that, beat writers and beat reporters. The NPF was playing left tackle besides Sko in a couple snaps. Now, it could have just been that they're looking to try to get him some reps and things like that, but it was interesting to say the least. Now, because we all know that the offensive line is struggling, in large part to Andre Dillard not being a good left tackle. I'm sorry, I didn't say it. They said it. But you can see the tape. He ain't really good at that spot. And that's a problem. But again, we know Mike Vrabel is loyal to veterans and etc. So changes might not happen. Now, the rest of the line has played decent, and maybe you can say they play well. Like Hubbard was the right choice that we made when we came into the offseason picking him up. He's shown that he's a good right tackle and has done admirably in his job. Brunskill is probably the best offensive lineman not named Peter Skoronski, which is weird that Peter Skoronski, a rookie who's only played one game, is probably considered our best offensive lineman. But he was drafted at 11 overall, so I do expect the first round draft pick to be pretty good, all right? Now, everybody's favorite Wes Welker AI replacement, Kyle Phillips, is back from IR, and he's practiced all week. And I fully expect to see him in the game, active and taking snaps. You know why I say that? Because Mason Kinsey was sent back to the practice squad, and Mason Kinsey had been returning punts for us. So we know Kier Jackson ain't back, so I'm expecting Phillips to be actually returning punts. Now, when he's healthy, Phillips gives you that help, that shifty quick wide receiver, that Wes Welker, that Julian Edelman that everybody wants, that can catch and make those first down conversions even better, or third down, or convert on for third and short, you know. Like the last time we had him, or the last game that he actually really played in, the one that everybody hangs on to, that man went crazy. That dude had 6 catches for 66 yards, and he had a 46-yard punt return. So honestly, I'm gonna hold my collective breath when he's on the field, because it just seems like he gets dinged up too much. We get him, and then he gets dinged up, then he goes to IR. But, you know, and he's talented, but can he stay healthy? That's the one thing that we all care about. Can he stay healthy, and can he stay on the field? But I think, you know, he's going to be a good addition to this offense. I think Tannehill already kind of has that chemistry with him, even though he hasn't been there. So I'm expected to see a lot of targets go his way. Colton Dowell will probably be the inactive. He'll be the odd man out, because you'll be running with Hopkins, NWI, Phillips, Moore, and who else would you be running with? I don't know. So Dowell may play. I don't know. Oh, no, Phillips. So, yeah. So, oh, no, I don't know. We don't know. This is the point of confusion for me right now. So maybe Dowell plays, maybe he doesn't. But but I do expect Phillips to be there. So go from there. So are these returns, or these reinforcements that we're getting from suspension and from IR going to be good enough to kind of to do anything? I'm leaning towards yes, and I'm leaning towards that way because Skoronski's coming back. He's coming back, so he's part of that original offensive line that was doing pretty good, pretty well. So I think that's going to be there. Now, NPF only matters if Vrabel is willing to shift and make some changes on the offensive line. Guess when we're going to find that out? Right before the game. We won't know before then. So if they do make changes and NPF plays right tackle, or they move somebody here, or they shift it, they jumble up the line, you know, Sons, Brewer, and Brunskill, then that might be something interesting to see. But you know, Sko is a plus. I think Phillips coming back, you know, we just have to wait and see, you know, what his contributions to the games are going to be. But I think it might be something interesting that we can look forward to. So in my closing segments, to be honest, I haven't watched a lot of the Indianapolis Colts highlights, because I hate everyone in the AFC South that's not named the Tennessee Titans. But they're 2-2, and they got an AFC win over Houston a couple weeks ago. So, you know, what we need to do in this game is we need to make AR look like a rookie. Need to bring him back down to earth. He's getting a lot of pub. I don't think he's getting that hype that Stroud's getting, because Stroud's really having a great season for Houston. But he is getting hype because he's a rookie, top draft pick. But I think Simmons, Autry, Key, Gibson, Landry, all of them need to greet and speak to him often in the backfield. You know, find out, you know, get to know him, you know. Ask him about that rap video that he made, but in the backfield, meaning they need to sack him a lot. Go grab him and ask him those important questions, which I feel like we're going to do. So my prediction, I say with JT knocking off that rust and not being a real factor in this game, it all lies on AR to kind of get that offensive going. And I think he comes back down to earth this game. I think we finally get a pick from KB on an overthrow from AR. And that defensive front seven, I think they get at least 3 sacks of Anthony Richardson. And the offense, you know, kind of rinsing and repeating what they did last week. And the starters back on the offensive line. I think, you know, D-Hop and Phillips get a lot of targets this game. Tannehill gets 250 in the air. Derek gets 100 on the ground in the tutty, extending that AFC South dominance. And we rout these boys for that first division win. And we break 30 points because we score 34-10 and we win this. So that's my prediction, 34-10. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Don't forget to tune into the next episode where we recap all of the action, win, loss, good, bad, from this game that we're going to have on Sunday versus the Colts. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this channel with all of your Titans friends on all of your social media platforms. We are so close to 500 fans. And once we hit 500 subscribers, we're going to do a start of our Houston Oilers throwback jersey giveaway. That we will give away a Houston Oilers throwback jersey of their choice, of the winner's choice, once we hit 1,000 subscribers. And all you have to do is just be a subscriber of the channel. So we'll release more details as they come, but I'm excited about this game and I'm excited about you being here. So as always, tighten up.